Hey you guys, what's going on? My name is Rye Reed, the writer. Okay, I'm officially ready to talk about Dune Part 2. I'm 2 days in. I saw it on Saturday, today's Monday, and I had to have time to myself to process what I watched on Saturday, like mid-afternoon, like tonight. And you guys, I don't even know where to even start. I'm just salivating. Like, it's just, you guys don't understand. I'm in love. I haven't been this excited about a film since, I can't even tell you guys, maybe Avatar 2. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. And I say that because Avatar, like, there's Batman, you know, Dark Knight, there's other movies. But Avatar, when that movie came out, I was like a kid. I was a teenager. I was like deep in high school. I think I was like 14, 15 when the movie came out. I saw that movie probably 4, 5, 6 times with my dad, just because it was something that we had never seen before and we couldn't get enough of it, so we kept going to the theaters to go see it. Like, that's that level of excitement. And I'd probably say, like, since then, maybe Hunger Games was the type of energy for me. Like, I felt that prior, and I can't really think of anything else. There's been some really good movies I've watched. Like, I saw the Creator a couple months ago, phenomenal. Like, TV shows, of course, like The Last of Us and, what was it? It was The Last of Us I saw. Stranger Things was really, really good. There was another one, The House of the Dragon. That was something. But this, you guys, like, this is the movie. If there ever was a time for you sitting right there, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you right there. If there ever was a time for you to scrape up your pennies and coins, to like get your Chuck E. Cheese coins, like to put them up, to stack them up, get your pesos, and go to the theaters, you guys need to go for that. Dune Part 2. I saw Dune Part 1 last week, and I'm pissed off that in 2021 I wasn't hyped up about this movie the way I should have been. And I didn't see it because I think I heard people talking about how slow it was. Dune Part 1, when I saw it last week, set my soul on fire. I swear to you. That music, like... Yeah! Don't have me sing. Don't have me sing. But Dune Part 2, I thought Dune Part 1 was amazing. I thought Dune Part 1 was the best movie I watched this year. Dune Part 2 went up another, I can't even catch it. I can't even catch it in this video. You guys need to go see this movie. And when I went to go see it on Saturday night, we went for the, it was like the afternoon showtime. The movie's about 2 hours, 3 hours long. Our theater was empty, just about. There was probably, in total, including me and my mother, there had to have been maybe 10 people max in our theater. And this was in the hood too, so it should have been packed out. But nobody was really in there. And the energy when I was watching the film, me and my mom were hyping up. We were like, he first saw, he sees, like we were doing all the little things. We were just like, he, you know, the Mahdi, he's so humble. Like, we were already we were already doing like semantics in the theater, playing, like having fun watching this. The theater we were at, like they weren't ready. It was a dead audience. They weren't celebrating. They didn't get it. I get it. I get Dune Part 2. So I am so excited to finally do this review. I'm pumped up. So we're gonna do that today. I needed 2 days to properly collect myself, to process, to feel the music. I've been listening to Hans Zimmer's Dune Part 2, like the whole entire, just like the music for the film, the score. I've been listening to that for the past 2 days in the shower. So as I'm showering, I'm just going like, ah! Like I'm showering going like, yes, the Madid, he's here, like he's ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited, you guys. So yeah, let's talk about this. Hopefully you can feel what I'm just feeling, and we can just dive in. So I took notes. Here's my notebook, my handy dandy notebook. It's pink because that's my favorite color. I love pink. I have a bit of notes. It's gonna take us a minute to kind of go through everything, but if you love Dune as much as I do, I know you're gonna appreciate my thoughts and my thinking. And I also want to preface this. I've never read the Dune books. I've never read the books. Like, I gotta say that again, because I feel like a lot of people who are like Dune fanatics, who've like read the books, who are like the readers, they're gonna come on here and start saying stuff. I'm not a Dune fanatic. I love the Dune movies now, but I have not read the books. So there's a lot of things I don't understand about the Dune world. I'm learning right now. I'm in that process. I'm in that stage. So when I was watching Dune Part 1, I was like, this is crazy. Watching Dune Part 2, I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's some stuff like that Gatorade, that's crazy. Like, I was tripping out. So if I say some names wrong, it's okay. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. If I don't understand some things and I'm just like talking about it, just like let me have my moment. Like, this is my like video and I want to have my moment here. And like, let's just rock out and let's have fun with this. Okay. So I'm breaking everything up into certain sections of just things I want to talk about. So the first section is music. After that's costume. After that, we're going to talk about the location, the acting performances, because that's just needed. Then we're going to discuss the weird stuff I just thought was just really weird. And maybe, if you guys can, if you have read the books, maybe you can tell me down in the comment section what that was when I mention it. Because, like, I'm telling you guys, there's just some scenes I was just like, what the hell is that? Like, what? I was like tripping out. I was like, what the hell is this? I love what I'm seeing, but what the hell is that? Like, what's that thing? Like, what's that? Like, no one's panicking in this world. I would have been like, it would just be me in that Dune world just going, what the hell is that? Like, what the hell? We gotta kill that. That gotta die first. Like, you know, forget fighting like the Freeman and forget fighting the Harkonnen. No, kill that thing. Like, that gotta die. Okay. Firstly, Hans Zimmer. I love this man. And I love him for so many different things. I didn't even know that he did music for The Lion King. Like, shout out Lion King. Like back in the day, as a black person, that's all we had. All we had was Lion King. Like, that was it. That's what we had. Like, everybody else, like, every other race had their people. Before Black Panther, all we had was The Lion King. Like, deadass. Like, it was just The Lion King. But the music for The Lion King was a bop. So, Hans Zimmer made the music for The Lion King, The Gladiator, which is my favorite movie of all time. I stand 10 toes down on The Gladiator. He made music for Dunkirk and Interstellar. And that Interstellar, when it dropped, that little like symphony, that little like, you know the song, like just, you know, that main track from Interstellar, it was all over TikTok during the pandemic. Like, everyone and their mother would hop on a piano and play the song on like social media. It was crazy. Okay, so I just had to mention that, but I didn't know that the actress's name was Lore Kotler. I'm probably saying her name wrong, but maybe I'll just insert a clip of her going, like just hitting it. I'll just put it right here. I'll just put it right here. She made that bop. She made it for me. And I guess it's called the House of Atreides War Cry. That war cry, that like that, me in the theaters, they probably hated us. We were sitting in the corner. They probably hated us. We were going, like getting out of our seats, going like we were ready. I was like, I'm about to go fight somebody. I don't have enemies, but bring some enemies. I'm ready. I'm so ready to jump out the dirt and fight for some spice. Like fight for my people. Like I was ready. So, but yeah, Hans Zimmer, that battle cry, the drums, I felt like I was getting ready to go into battle. He's just a genius. We know this. It's the tribalness of the songs, just the music. But it wasn't just the war cry. It was every aspect of the film. And when I tell you guys this, the movie is 2 hours and a half. It's long. There wasn't a scene in that movie, Dune Part 2, even Dune Part 1, where I was going, oh, I'm tired, like I'm nodding off, like let me just eat my chips, like let me lean back, let me go answer a phone call. There was not one scene where I felt the need to drift. I was 100% focused from start, middle to finish. And the music, the execution of every scene, because that was just to me the beauty of the music. Every scene had a note. Every scene had something prolific, a sound to go with it. If you have, like, you know, Jessica drinking the water of life, the music behind that, like, incredible. Atreides, like the family, you know, Dune Part 1, you know, just ending, the family being burned, the music, it was just so rich. Every scene had music, and it was so particular, like, that it moved me so much. There's no other way I can explain it. I feel like when music touches you, it embodies a life of its own. And that's like the only way I can explain it. The music in itself is a life. And if this soundtrack does not receive an award for whatever upcoming awards they're having next year or end of this year, I'm gonna start a fire. I'm ready. Like, just tell me what you want to be burned, and I'll go outside and I'll burn it for y'all. Like, I'm ready. Like, it's amazing. So the music is phenomenal. But that House Atreides war cry, sheesh. And like, just the drums and just the power of it, I don't know, it's so tribal, and it reminded me of like Middle Eastern, like Egyptian type music. It's just, you know, just that screaming, that yelling. I'm sorry you guys, I'm really stuck in it. I'm gonna go see the movie again this upcoming weekend because it's so good, but y'all don't understand. Okay, costume. What was wrong with the costume? Nothing. Like, you guys, nothing. Let me drink my tea. Like, I'm just gonna throw some pictures of the costumes. Just look. Look. I'm gonna drink my tea. Nothing. Wow. What is there to say? The drapings of the Bene Gesserits. Genius. And I want to mention this too. I have it in my notes. I'm gonna go more in depth into it. The Bene Gesserits, them wearing those veils, it's kind of like a mesh see-through veil. Whoever was on the set design to have given Lady Jessica a different veil set than the average Bene Gesserit, to give her color tones, her palettes, for it to be more vibrant than the rest, was so telling. Because to me, her colors were like red and gold. Those colors to me are like colors of defiance. You know, whereas the Bene Gesserits are supposed to be kind of like, I don't want to say like obscene, like they're not supposed to be visible, but they operate like, I don't know, I guess you call them like members of just like it's like a secret society where they operate behind the scenes. But you have Lady Jessica wearing such a defiant color, reds and gold, and those tattoos standing out on purpose. It was so defiant. I love it. Let's talk about the color palettes. I'm gonna find some images too. Yeah, I'm gonna find some images too. I'm gonna try to put them on the screen for you guys. The color palette was delicious. It was so reminiscent of the desert, of the sand, of color palettes that just blend so well with the earth tones. It was absolutely gorgeous, especially with the Freeman. Their suits having like those dark browns and greens, and their like scarves that they were wearing being like translucent and white, but like just like a dirtier meshy color. Beautiful. I love it. There was also a scene in the prayer dome, or whatever you would call it, where you have Stigler praying in his costume, having like those I don't even know what you would call it, like a veil, but it was just open, like open flaps, and it was like a garment, but like a robe. You know, it was something I guess you would wear at like a high priestess, like at a church, like just, you know, for reverence. That like little white like robe he was wearing, just beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was just gorgeous. Even for the touch for Shawnee having that blue bandana, having that just that one striking color out of all the muted color tones, just the touches. But you know, I'm gonna say this, one of the things that stuck out to me most, that just added so much more emphasis into this world to differentiate between the Freeman and everyone else, was just those blue eyes, that touch of spice, turning their eyes blue, and that color tone of blue they chose for the film. Like, oh my gosh, but just, you know what I mean? So let's talk about House Atreides. And I just want to preface this as well. I'm not going to call him Timothy Chalamet. Like, I'm not going to call him by his actual name. I'm going to call him Timothée Chalamet. Because it's just, I heard someone call him that on TikTok, and it's just funnier. So Timothée. Yeah, his outfits for House Atreides, gorgeous. I love that. And that's from Dune Part 1, but to this one as well. I love just the suits that the Freemen are wearing, especially what we got to see with Paul. That color tone for the suits were almost like a darkish green, brown. Then as like different battles happened, like the final battles, there's like a scene where you have Zendaya, Shawnee's character, fighting with like a dome kind of covered, her suit's a little more platted, and that color tone being a little bit more like a, I wouldn't say brown, but it's like a little more like a softer cream color. Like, just those tones are just, it was just so beautiful. But yeah, I'm so in love with the Freeman, especially with the Bene Gesserits. Their costume attire as well, it reminds me a lot of like I guess priestesses, what are they called, nuns. Nuns will wear those coverings, like those hats, just like to hide themselves, but only to reveal their face. You know, just, you know, as a protection for their body. You know, it's just those certain things like that. But hands down, you guys, hands down, Lady Jessica's costume design, top notch, top tier. Her getting those tattoos in a line, like lined across her face, and going all the way from up to down. Beautiful, just element design. It's just gorgeous touches. Whatever the costume design team was doing on that set, whatever they were envisioning for it, it executed so wonderfully. So I'm in love, I'm in awe. I also want to mention, let me see, I love the garments. They look old and futuristic, which is a very hard thing to do. A lot of people try to attempt it. I've seen in like other films and TV shows. But I would say the coolest touch was that the suits look futuristic, right? especially with the padding and like the suit's abilities to contain water and to cycle it, recycle the water. Just like those touches reminds us, the viewers, that everything is set in a futuristic society. But having like the other touches of like just the garments that the Freemen are wearing, like the mask and like, you know, the scarves, it brings that tone up and down. So it was beautifully done. And I also wanted to mention this, the style with the Freemen, and just throughout the whole entire set for the whole entire production, I'm seeing so many nuances between Dune Part 1 and 2 and what's happening currently in fashion. And there was times when I was watching it too, I was thinking to myself, oh, this reminds me of Kanye West Ye's like fashion, his design sets as well. And I was also thinking about Travis Scott as well, wearing like those padded suits and like battle attire when he's performing. Like it reminds me a lot of that. So very cool. Like Rick Owens as well, kind of, because Rick Owens' style is really it's like broken French society meets high fashion. That's what I got here. But the costume, I love it. Let's get into Princess Erlon. If I'm saying her name wrong, I don't care. Princess Erlon. Erlon. Her chainmail references, top tier, top notch. Beautiful. I want to start with the first scene where we get to see her talking to her father, the Emperor. That little like cap she was wearing, it was made of like rope or thread or whatever it was. It was white and it had like a very unique, like I would almost say like a diamond design, but it was clearly like made of like jewels or something. Gorgeous. I loved her white robes. Really reminiscent of like a higher power, a higher energy, emperor status, royalty. I love that. But her chainmail, whoever was cooking on that set, you were cooking with her outfits. It was so freaking cool, and it fit her character design so well. Because, you know, when I was thinking about Princess Erlon, what I thought to myself a lot of the time when I was watching her performance, and shout out to Florence Pugh, she was eating up that role. She was barely in the movie, but she was eating it up. What I thought to myself was, the Emperor, this man is a coward. He's weak, but he's conniving, and he's plotting, right? So to withstand being in an environment around him, because you could tell that their relationship, he admires her, of course, just from what I saw from the film. But to be in that environment around him, you would have to have a thick skin to survive him, those around her father. You can see all the servants, but the Bene Gesserit and the Reverend Mother Bene Gesserit, who was the teacher of Princess Erlon. But to have survived that environment, you would have to have such tough skin. And to have metal chained wardrobe as like another layer of protection for herself in that dome, in that spear. Just, to me, it's just the little things I love, the little details that most people would skip over. But if you really start thinking about certain things, like, and I feel like costume designers do that. They won't just make something just to make it. They'll go, I'm gonna put this here to symbolize this part of the character. Like, to have those micro touches, it was just so beautifully executed. So let's get into the Harkin design as well. What can I say? The Harkin costume design was gorgeous. Also shout out to Austin Butler. The black teeth was such a nice touch. I love that the Harkonnen were hairless. I was told, and I saw a lot on social media, a lot of people were talking about how they were upset about the look. Some people were. I wasn't, because I haven't read the book, so I don't know. I think it was ingenious to have the Harkonnen be a hairless race of people, and for us, the viewers, to focus more on the initial appearance and like the facial reactions of the characters. Because when, you know, you're looking at a face, like hair, and no offense to eyebrows and like facial hair, it can disguise a lot of those emotions. But us having the opportunity to fully look at these characters' faces and look at every movement and arch and stare, especially with Austin Butler, it was so wonderfully, beautifully done. So I love it. But the black teeth was such a nice touch, especially when you had what's his name, Fade Rotha, there you go, Fade Rotha in the pit, and he's scowling and he's hissing, he's growling at those in the pit with him, with the doctor, and just hissing. But all you see is that black enamel, that black tongue. What a beautiful touch. The touch was just killer. And that white skin, just, you know, on that planet, just, oof, I love it. I love the look. The servants, though, with the Harkin creeped me out, which was perfect. Them having black eyes, and when you had Fate Rotha like talk to the servants, and the girls were like laughing, I was like, ooh, what's that? Kill that. You're killing the wrong thing. Now let's talk about the Baron as well. The Baron, to me, had the best costume design. People might fight me on that, but just hear me out. This man looked like the human blob. Just a blob of a man. Gluttony, fat, grotesque, disgusting. And how did you portray him? Wearing nothing majority of the film. That, to me, in itself, was genius. Because he didn't need any clothes, like majority of the time. He didn't need that. His gluttony and, you know, I guess just call it fatness, whatever. His body in itself embodied and envisioned what he was already. Just, which was consumption. Him being so large and taking up so much space and just demanding so much space, it's just a testament of just who he is as a man, as the Baron. And that's what it is. He's just a killer. He wants more, never fulfilled, never satisfied, always leaching outward. Just beautifully done. Him being in that tub of black goo, disgusting. Loved it. Perfect. Also the scenes in Dune Part 1, I just want to just hop back in there as well. Him floating around with that long garb made him look sinister. Almost serpent-like, slithering around, just floating. Oh, just genius. Especially with him having that like skeletal system on his back. I'm telling you guys, it's just, there's nothing bad about this movie. There's nothing bad. But him being in that tub of black goo, smoking, I don't know what you would call it. Like, it's just, you know, him smoking, such a cool touch. He reminded me so much of Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars. There we go. Just being a fat glob and just smoking. Just, I love those characters of just gluttony and wealth and opulence and just needing to control and just have power. And just dominating with their presence and body alone. It's just, those characters to me, I love them. Okay, let's talk about location. Okay, I'm drinking my tea. Okay, so the location, the Sand and the Spice, what can I say, is a desert planet, Atreides, or Dune, which was the name before it was taken over. I love the spice and the sand. I thought that was a beautiful touch. The spice and the food was amazing. I love that Paul and his mother were eating when they first entered, I guess like the Dome Sphere, where the Fremen eat and drink, and they pass on their dead ones. Take out that like that water and put in that little water pit, whatever it's called, I don't know. But I love that the spice is not only in the sand and the air, but it's also in the food. Cool touch, like that. You got me. The pending doom of the sandworms. I like the difference between how the Fremen view the sandworms than how House Harkonnen and Atreides, before Paul like transitioned to Fremen. I love their viewpoint, because for the Fremen, they view the sandworms as an opportunity to dispose of waste, for cleaning, for hiding bodies, for removing wreckage. They use the worms as transportation. They use the worms also as like a ritual, to show strength and power, and I guess destiny, to see if you're worth or you're capable of being an actual freeman. So I like the freeman's view of the worms, whereas House Harkonnen and House Atreides viewed the worms as pestilence, as something to fear and to flee from, whereas the Freemen took that as an opportunity to bring that the worm to them. Like the Freemen, they basically said it like in Dune Part 1. Also, I think they said it in Dune Part 2, but the desert is their home. And it's so well said, so well spoken, because everything of the desert was utilized. There was nothing for the Freemen that the desert could not be used. Every sense of water, spit, tears, like that. Also, that scene with Sigler and Lady Jessica, and she cried, and Sigler took that tear and drank it, like, you know, licked it. Nothing goes for waste for the Freemen. So that's so executed and wonderfully done, especially with the dead bodies the Freemen captured. You would think you would just dispose the bodies, but the Freemen instead used the bodies, their water source, for themselves, then disposed of the bodies. Just, you know, just having water being such an essential figure and like a plot point for the story, I loved it. Let me see, the sacred temples, I wanted to talk about that. Gorgeous. I have to go back to watch the movie again, but when we get to see those scenes where you have Paul kind of walking through the I don't know what to call them, like the temple caverns of that dome, with that cavern of that rock setting, and you can see all those carvings inside the walls. I love that. I wish we had more time to like actually look at everything, but I know the story was moving along, so we couldn't capture all of it. But from what I saw, the engravings were just so nicely done. It was such a beautiful touch. I'm telling you guys, it was so reminiscent of like ancient Egypt. I felt a little bit of I guess like Persia, New Delhi, like India, like just those like essence of those cultures were all like dripped along like this film, and it was cool. I liked to have seen that. Let me see what else I have. The caverns, there were birds. I like the birds inside the temples as well. Super cool as well. Let me see. The water of the dead, I thought that was an awesome touch. Like nothing goes for waste, even the dead. And them, you know, honoring the dead and putting their water, the last of their water, into like this, I don't know, like pond or water system or whatever it is, to never be drunken. And just to, you know, be there as a reminder of those who passed before. I'm telling you guys, like this movie was just popping. Okay, let's get into what I really want to talk about, which is the acting performances. Okay. So Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet. He's a beast. He killed this role. I feel bad for myself because I was not a fan of this man until Saturday. I was aware of him. I had never seen, I don't think I've seen any of his movies, to be honest with you. I've considered seeing his movie that came out, I think last year, Something of Bones or whatever it was, where he was a cannibal with another actress. I can't remember the name for either. I'll just put a picture right here. That movie looked very, intrinsic to me. I considered watching it, but I think life got too busy for me. But after seeing Dune Part 1 and Part 2, I'm heavily invested in his career. This guy is extremely talented. He's incredibly young. But for him to have this much depth at his age and just overall just commanding presence on the set, and just watching it in the film. It was marvelous. He was in beast mode basically, and I'll say this, I found him so attractive. I didn't see it before. Don't get mad at me, you guys. Don't get mad at me. I didn't understand how handsome he was until Saturday. Actually, he was handsome a little bit in Dune Part 1, but Dune Part 2, this man was handsome. Like, there's something about Paul Atreides, something about the Mahdi, like there's something about him that just got me going, like, man, this guy is, man, sexy. Like, he's hot. Just, and it's just his character, his embodiment of the character. And there's something I like about Paul. Like, Paul doesn't hesitate. He moves. He sees an opportunity and he just runs to it. There's a scene where you had Zendaya shooting with a rocket launcher, like getting the perfect aim. And you have the Harkonnen on the other side, bum rushing to Zendaya and Timothée. And that character, Paul, he could have hesitated, he could have waited, he could have, you know, stood his ground. Instead, he makes a mad dash to the villains. And just that scene alone for me was enough to go, this character, Paul, he will kill you. Don't mess with his lady. Don't mess with his woman. He will kill you. And he'll do it quickly. And just the fighting sequences alone, chef's kiss. I love it. I love it. But yeah, just the beast. He's just in beast mode. His beaming glares, the more the story continued on, like the deeper intrinsic looks Paul gave. And that's what I'm saying. I'll make this like a testament to Timothée's acting. It was gorgeous. I love it, especially the scene when you have Paul Atreides entering into like the Emperor's Dome, or whatever you would call it, and here he is staring at the Emperor, speaking in the Fremen language, and all you can see is Paul Atreides' eyes, right? Everything else is like bandaged and covered up, but just that fierceness to have betrayed so much of yourself, but just through your eyes. It takes a very great actor to be able to say a lot without saying anything. And that's what I got from Timothy. So he's going places. He's an incredible actor. I'm excited to see whatever films he does in the future, and I will be watching his movies. So let me see what else I have for him. Because like I said, you guys, I'm a novice to Dune. I didn't read the book, so everything was new to me watching this. I want to say this, the physical pain, avoiding the south, the face, his face was amazing. Him proposing to marry Princess Erlon pissed me the F off. I felt betrayed because I didn't see it coming, but I was pissed. So Paul's character, I don't like him. I like him, but I don't like him in that instance because that pissed me off. Like, I was ready to like throw my popcorn. Like, I was that pissed off at Paul. I was happy about Timothée's acting, pissed off at Paul to say I love you. Like, you're the one. You're my person. Like, you know, it's just like I will love you as long as I breathe. Then to say to Princess Erlon, I'm gonna marry you. No. Pissed me off. Pissed me off. But yeah, great. I love that. Let me see what else. I guess some honorable mentions that Paul Atreides said, especially just to Shani. I like the relationship between them. But him going, I very much like to be equal to you. Y'all, I'm single too. Like, I was just sitting there going, oh no. Just melting, like, oh, this man got lines. Oh my gosh. That her going, like, saying it back, but oh my gosh. But that line, I will love you as long as I breathe. Paul, my dude. Okay. Austin Butler as Fade Rotha. What a badass name. Psychotic. He's just psychotic, purely. But there's so much to that character. Like, there's so much. Let me stick to my notes. That opening scene where we get to see Fade kneeling in that small room, killing his female servants, licking the knife. You could see right there just the intensity that Austin Butler brought to that room. I felt nervous for the servants, and I was in the theater. But to have felt that, just that fear, and he felt like a an animal, like a serpent or something, right? Or like, I guess something like an animal with sharp teeth. It's like you never know when he's going to bite you. But him receiving that servant bringing over that knife, and it was this ingenious scene. But having Fade Rotha pick up the knife and just look at it, and him looking at the servant holding the knife, I could have swore that he was going to kill the servant, but instead he killed the female servant on the side. That crazy, just crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Austin Butler. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he's just a predator. I summed up his character for him just loving killing and having such a respect for it as well. I want to go back to the scene where you have Austin Butler's character, Fade Rotha, fighting in the dome, right? And once he found out that the doctor, evil doctor, but the doctor did not have the poison in him, right? Like, I guess the medicine or whatever it was to make him like deranged. And that Fade Rotha was actually fighting a man who was fighting for his life. Him grasping that situation, just seeing it on his face, then realizing that he actually has to put an effort to kill this man. Love that scene. I can see it in my head, but I just love it so freaking much. Then Fade Rotha getting mad at those creatures in the dome. And like I said, shout out to the costume design team. Those creatures look like little demons with like horns or whatever it was. But there they were trying to help Fade Rotha, and Fade Rotha hissing at them and growling and saying, no, I want to have this. Him wanting to have that moment of him killing his prey showed so much respect to his craftsmanship and him wanting to prove something to his uncle. So it kind of showed to me that Fade Rotha, though he is psychotic and deranged, he is a killer, he's a predator, there's a lot more in depth to him, to his personality. Also with Lady Margot professing like to the other Bene Gesserits that yes, he is psychotic, yes, he is crazy, but he is easily, like, he's sexually driven and sexually manipulated. Like, there's a weakness there to him. Why they put that in there, maybe for us to pick up, but that was a moment for me where I said, okay, maybe I should go read the book. I'm not. I want to. I'm thinking about it, but I like the movie so much. I feel like if I were to read the book would be better than the movie, or the changes between the book to the movie would have made me upset. And I see why like a lot of people are upset like online, but for me, the movie is enough. But yeah, so I like that. The scene where you had Fade Rotha kissing the Baron, very telling. I kind of picked it up too, that second kiss. Because like, it's, you know, kissing your uncle, alright. But kissing your uncle twice, but having the Baron kind of just look at Fade Rotha and them leaning in. To me, that kind of felt like maybe there was some, I don't want to say the word, but some graping involved. Maybe in Fade Rotha's childhood. Maybe it's one of the reasons why he became so tormented and demented within himself. Maybe this is the reason why he has such a hatred for his uncle, but yet wants to prove so much to him. there's a story there. I just don't know what it is. But I haven't read the book, so I don't know. Maybe you can tell me that in the comment section down below. Okay, let me get some tea. We have Lady Jessica, played by Rebecca Ferguson. Don't know if I'm saying her name right, but I'm just saying it. Her entry to Dune Part 2 was great. Her drinking the water of life elevated her acting. Elevated. Because it allowed her to free herself and become this otherworldly character. And the transition between Lady Jessica to Reverend Mother was so powerful. Necessary, but powerful for this character's evolution. And I say this because Lady Jessica, her concerns more were just about protecting Paul Atreides, getting them off the planet, fleeing, going into hiding, her understanding that she lost her, well, she was a concubine, but her losing her, I guess her man, and just wanting to protect what little she had left of Atreides. But to after drinking the water of life, that transition to her now craving the power, not only just for her son, but seemingly for herself as well, and for her future daughter who was incubating, low-key kind of creepy, but incubating, right? But seeing that right there, that water, also with Lady Jessica planting those prophecies, like flaming the fire, building up Paul Atreides, the little manipulation, you could see it in her face. There's a couple scenes. There's a scene where she's talking to her daughter in her stomach. She's kind of walking through the caverns. Then you have a family, some kids on the side watching her talk. Then how quickly her facial expression changes to smile at them, but yet in the back of her mind, plotting with her and her daughter. And that relationship between her and her daughter, how they're able to talk and work through problems and issues together, though the child isn't even born yet, but the child's eyes have been awakened. But that water for life, that blue Gatorade, I'll never drink blue Gatorade again. I'll tell you that. Chani, Zendaya, let's get into this. Let's just get into this. And I want to be 100% honest, because I don't want to just speak and, not be myself with this. I like Zendaya. I truly do. I saw Euphoria. I saw Euphoria season 1. Good stuff right there. And Zendaya did a masterful job in that role. And I've seen some clips of Euphoria season 2. Zendaya kind of acting out after having her dry spell with her drug, like relapse, kind of going through the withdrawal stage. She has some good acting ability. What I will say about her role in Dune, it was superb. But to be honest, the way she spoke in the film did not match the world. But at the same time, I had to think to myself as well, Timothée Chalamet, he at times, he sounded decadent, like a leader, like a prince, like a king, like a god, or whatever it was. Like he had that tone to himself as well. But it was more fitting for the movie than it was for Zendaya. And I'll say this, there was a scene where Shani and her friend were sitting underneath a tent. You had Timothée Chalamet, aka Atreides, standing outside watching them laugh and asking what they're laughing about. In that particular scene, Zendaya had an accent. Outside that scene, we didn't really get to see it again. There were some glimpses of her kind of having, I guess, that tone that the rest of the Freeman kind of had as well. Sigler did a great job of like having that fluently go throughout the movie, and some of the other Freeman characters as well. Zendaya sounded like she was from California. And I kept thinking to myself as well. I was like, yeah, she sounds like she's I kept thinking about it too. I was like, yeah, she sounds like she's in Euphoria. Just like the tones, just like a little bit. Like it came out. But Austin Butler too. There were some scenes where Austin Butler was talking. I was like, yeah, I still hear Elvis, but not really. But then he broke, and then he became, Faded Rotha. But to me, it wasn't big enough of a concern for me to go, yeah, she's a horrible actress. She's not. She is a great actress. They utilized her well. Her best visual points were her moments with Paul Atreides. Just the softness in her face as well. Like those scenes to me brought the best out of like her acting. Because I know that I saw like a lot of talk online. People were really kind of just downing her on her acting. But to me, she didn't do bad. It was fine. It was good enough. But the accent, I did pick up on that as well. I like Shawnee's urgency, her commitment to her people, and the love she had for Paul. One might say that this isn't a love story, but I would disagree. I think this movie had dual fighting like characteristics. At one hand, it's a story of revenge. Paul Atreides wanting to avenge his father and the loss of the House Atreides, right? Then on the second half, you have Paul dreaming and envisioning this woman he has never met, and seeking and looking for her, and these dreams utterly consuming him by the second half of Dune Part 1. So this is a love story. It's one of the reasons why I feel like he wanted to stay on the planet. On the planet was for her and his love for her. He didn't foresee like the visions yet of him, of the death of Shawnee and the ruin and the horrors of war yet. That was until they actually got together. But just in the beginning, him catching those first glimpses of Shawnee, him seeking her, what a beautiful scene it was, where you have Shawnee teaching Paul how to sand walk, and them doing it together, and him having to go on this like self-destiny, exploration, but her following along, and them having that like attraction for each other, and her wanting to teach him about the desert and about the sand and about water, and like that's what I'm gonna keep saying it, but like there was another scene where you have Shawnee like teaching him about the water, like how to plant or whatever it was, and that whole entire like clip, it was just Paul Atreides just staring at her, and it was such a cute stare. It really was. It was an adorable stare, because it's the stare of like first love, when you're falling for someone. And you know what it is like when you first start falling in love with someone, you're just looking at them, and they could be doing the most weirdest things. They could be just doing nothing, just, I don't know, watering a plant or painting a door or just drinking a cup of coffee. But because you're so enamored and so in love with them, and you adore them so much, no matter what they do, you can't hear anything, you just see them. And that scene right there, like it encapsulated everything. But yeah, Shawnee's and Zendaya, great stuff. I love the scenes. Let me see. The scene where they made love, and this is a shout out to the director, to Denis Villeneuve, like, since he's Canadian. I was gonna call him Dennis, but I had to look it up online since he's Canadian. He's French. Villeneuve. Denis. There you go. Denis. No, not with the S. Denis. Them zooming in so closely on Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet, like in that little like hut dome thing they sleep in after they've made love, and just you could just hear them breathing, but them being so close on the face, and him in that scene going, what's wrong? Then you have Shawnee going, I can't remember exactly what she said, I need to go see it again, but her breathing and going like, you know, will you always love me or always stay with me? Something like that, she said that. But just the vulnerability she gave. Because that character, Shawnee, is a tough cookie. She's a strong warrior. She's a fighter. She fights to protect her people. But to have that level of intimacy and having her guards let down and like seeking like him in that moment for him to just tell her how he feels about her. I was like, I really was. I was sitting in the theater eating my popcorn going, I was like this is me. Oh my god. Like I was like, ah, my heart. Like, ugh. I was like, bro, it's not even Valentine's no more, but ugh, my heart. Honorable mention lines that she said, maybe I'll show you the way, after he said, let me see it, let me see if I have it. Let me look for it. He said, oh, he said, I very much like to be equal to you. Oh, I'm telling you, just the writing alone. As a writer myself, I enjoy watching movies with good writing because I get to take notes. And that's what I was doing this whole time. But just him saying that, then her going, maybe I'll show you the way, like in a different scene. Then there's another scene. I'm telling you guys, I'm just a fan now at this point. But there's another scene where Timothée Chalamet, aka Paul Atreides, was having a nightmare and he was waking up for it. And her being like right there and like touching his face and going, it's okay. I'm here, and like just like caressing his face. It's just like, it's just their relationship alone I just love. Because it just shows to me that they pay attention to each other so much. And they see each other's like details and if anything's going on, and her referencing like is the nightmare. So it's just telling how close they are as a unit. But yeah, I'm in love with it. I'm in love with their character. I know some people online were also saying like they didn't have chemistry. I saw the chemistry. I felt some chemistry. Maybe it wasn't as strong as we had seen it with Zendaya in Euphoria with that other character. I can't remember her name. But that other actress, I felt a lot of like romantical chemistry in Euphoria very strongly. And also with Tom Holland in Spider-Man No Way Home. But that's, you know, that's her man. That's different. But it was a different type of romance. It wasn't strong passion. It wasn't, don't think watching this you're gonna get The Notebook or, I'm trying to think of characters that have, okay, like Vampire Diaries. You're not gonna get Vampire Diaries like Damon Salvatore type, you know, type love where it's, even for the acting, it's just drooling on the set. Like it's just drooling, you know, you can just see it and you're falling in love watching them. It's not that intensity, but it's a softer love. And for me, it was enough that it worked. The lines delivered, so it was good enough. Let me see, the Baron. I just hate him. That's just really what it is. Gluttony. He eats before killing Leto in Dune Part 1. Us finding out that he's the grandfather to Paul Atreides. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that that was Jessica's dad. Ugh. Could you imagine sleeping with the Baron? Ugh. Ugh. Could it be me? Could not be me. Alright. Here's the fun part of the video. We're ending it out because this video is getting hella long and I'm almost out of tea. So, weird stuff I saw in the film that I did not understand or I just thought was like weird. That spider pet thing, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Tell me in the comment section, but I almost don't want to know. But yeah, I was like, what the hell was that? Kill that. That's, to me, that was enemy number 1. That spider thing had to go. Kill that. Kill that. Don't even feed it, bruh. Don't even feed that thing. Hell no. I was like, ugh. Ooh, bro, do I want to be in this world? Like, if I had to think about what world I want to live in, exist in, like fictional, definitely not in Dune. Definitely not in Dune. If there's things like that crawling around, I don't know. I like Star Wars, so maybe Star Wars. Don't put me in Lord of the Rings. I won't live long in there. Them spiders. I don't like spiders. That the ring would have been lost by our Frodo. the ring would have been lost. And the minute the spider came up, the ring would have lost. The movie franchise would have ended right there because the ring would have been lost. But the Dune and the spider pet, you almost lost me right there. I hate spiders. The water of life, the blue, aka the blue Gatorade. No cap, you guys. I'll never drink blue Gatorade until I die. That's a long time. I'm pretty young too. Until I die, I'll never drink a blue Gatorade or a blue Powerade or a blue drink. Anything blue, I'm not drinking. Cause the water of life being worm juice, disgusting. Disgusting. I don't care. I don't care what you guys have to say in the comment section about it. Giving me like the death like spark notes from the book. I don't care, you guys. The fact that it's worm juice, gross. You could not. If Sigler said, if you don't drink this juice or become the Reverend Mother, I'm like, yeah, just take me out. But make me a puddle. Make me a puddle. I'm not drinking that stuff. You gotta get your out of here. Get out of here. Blue Gatorade, gross. The black lady getting the worm juice. I literally put that in my notes. The bald black lady getting the worm juice. I didn't realize how short she was until she was standing by Paul Atreides, like in the next following scenes. Is she an enemy? I don't know. I support her role, but her being the one who gets the worm juice, what do I hate more? The worm juice, the Gatorade, the blue Gatorade? Or do I hate the lady who gets the blue Gatorade? I can't decide. I can't decide. I don't know if I would take both of them out. That's why I can't be in that world. I would just, if I lived in Dune, I would just be trying to take people out left and right because I'm like, you're doing something weird. You gotta go. And that's why I can't get into the books because I know the books are probably weirder. Like, because what is it? It's Dune, then it's Dune Messiah, then it's the Children of Dune or something. Don't tell me how weird it gets in the other books. Please, please don't tell me, please. It's already weird for me. It's weird, but gross. The lady, I might have to take her out. The weird creatures on the computers. Did we miss on that? Like, nobody's talking about that. I didn't see that anywhere online. Like, are you not gonna talk about it? Because I'm gonna talk about it. What were those things? What were those things on the computer? Do they work for Bill Gates? Like, why were they on the computers? What? Apple? Microsoft? What are we doing? What were those things? Huh? What? Like, I know they had jobs. They were trying to find the Freeman. I would be going, hey, do we have to hire them? Do they have to work here? Like, are there 80 normal looking people that I can like hire to hop on this Microsoft, this Apple, this MacBook? What are those? No, between the spiders and that, no, I'm taking out everybody. No. Let me see. The Bene Gesserit's voices, them switching and using that ability, super scary. The Bene Gesserits, if I was in Dune, I would take them out because there ain't no way your voice is gonna be an ability. You're gonna have that ability to use it on me to control me, and you're gonna be helping me like run my society. And me going, you're not gonna betray me not once. No, I would poison your food. I would get a poison tooth, get every servant in a room, get all the Bene Gesserits, and I take them out, all of them. Lady Jessica too, because, I don't care. As a mom, she was evil. Her being so conniving and plotting, nope, couldn't be me, nope. The Baron is Jessica's dad. I thought that was weird in the beginning when I found out about it in the movie. Now I'm going, Jessica's strange too. So her dad being the Baron, it's fitting. Because it's something about the Harkonnen bloodline. None of them come out right. Like the Atreides, they seem fine. They seem okay. But the Harkonnen, there's something in that bloodline. Like, you have to come out weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, you're gonna turn into the bear, you're gonna get fat, you're gonna be psychotic. What's the bald guy, Batiste played? I think Ranad, whatever that character is. You're gonna be slow. Jessica being a Bene Gesserit, her talking to her kid in her stomach, but low-key like plotting on people. Nah. Something about the Harkonnens. They gotta go. Shawnee slapping Paul was my Roman Empire. I hate that saying on TikTok, but it was my Roman Empire. Her saving Paul, them going as it was written, bro. That's for now on. I'm going to say that if something good happens or like someone does something, like, why did that happen? I'm gonna go as it was written. He foresaw. He sees. He's so humble. I'm telling you guys, yo. But her slapping him and her name meaning like fountain, spring, life, whatever it is, but spring. Her putting a little drop of the blue Gatorade in his mouth. Him coming back to life. Me going, couldn't someone else gotten some blue Gatorade? But like she just putting a little drop in his mouth. But them going, as it was written. I was going, man. Then slapping him? That was fitting. Because I was slapping too. Because I'm like, why were you drinking that? See, why were you drinking the blue Gatorade? Like, come on now. Like, you're my man, but I'm going to slap you. I got to teach you a lesson. I'm going to slap you. Okay, let's see what else was weird. Shawnee and her friend not believing in the prophecies was so me. That's why I'm saying I couldn't be in Dune, because there's no way you could have you could convince me of like anything. And I commend the South for just being so loyal, loyalist of the prophecies, then having like Lady Jessica like fan the flame of it. But then you have Shawnee and her friend going, we don't believe in this. Like, what? We don't believe in this. Like, what? This sounds crazy. Y'all gonna get yourselves killed. Not me. Not me. I'm main character vibes. You must be tripping. I'm Zendaya. Like, I got to go. I got to go. The Emperor looking at the ground in front of Paul. So in that scene, you have the Emperor's champion died, which was Fade Rotha. He died, right? You have Paul Atreides walking over going, I'm going to marry your daughter. This is how we're going to make it work. We're going to combine houses. And you have the Emperor standing right there and just looking at the ground going, damn. That's all I heard in my head. When the Emperor was just going, like, after Fade Rotha dies, and he's just looking at the ground, and he's just going, like, then you have, you know, him just going, like, kind of looking up at Paul going, like this. Going, damn, fuck. Like, like, my life, damn it. Didn't work. Damn it, he didn't die. Then you have Paul Atreides, like, putting on that ring or whatever, getting in front of the Emperor, stomping his foot. Paul Atreides stomped his foot, got his ring out, and waited for the Emperor to kiss the ring. Me in the corner. Better kiss that ring. Better kiss that ring. And I was like, Paul stomping his foot. Okay. Stomping. Okay, another thing. The riding of the sandworms. Okay. How do they get off? How do they steer it? Just a side question. Just my own question. The movie's phenomenal. Side question though. Paul professing his love to Shawnee, then proposing to marry Erlon pissed me off. The director did a phenomenal job. Such a great job in that scene. Because you have one instance where you have Paul looking at Shawnee and just saying, you know, I would love you for as long as I breathe, right? Just giving her so much admittance. Just submitting to her in that moment and her feeling it, right? Then in the next moment, I'm going to marry your daughter. And the way they directed that scene was just gorgeous because it went from Paul to Erlon. Then in a back shot, you have Shawnee just looking, going at all of us, including everyone in the theater, going, no, he did not. No, he did not. And seeing the hurt in Shawnee's face, the surprise on Erlon's face, the horror in the Emperor's face, but looking at Paul's face was so telling for me, because it said to me that despite him loving Shawnee, she was a pawn. We might agree to disagree in the comment section, but I'm just speaking my piece. He used Shawnee to get close to the Freeman. It was necessary, but he used her, right? It benefited him tremendously. Then now using Erlon to establish himself in this empire of houses. Two women, their own objectives as well, their own things going on. But yet Paul's ability to use both proficiently to ascend himself to higher power. But Shawnee's expression of just pure hurt. And that's what I'm saying. When people were just like, you know, for Zendaya, like, it was bad acting. How is that bad acting? And that's like another thing, a testament to acting as well. When you can say so much without physically speaking, you're acting. Like quiet film, quiet cinema back in the day, their ability to have so much facial expression to relay to the audience what they're feeling and what they can't say, but your ability to pick up off of their expressions, that's good acting. That shot of Zendaya Shawnee, just the pure disappointment for Zendaya to bring that forth, how is that bad acting? That's great acting. It was great acting. But yeah, I don't like Atreides anymore. Let me see. Shawnee leaving on the sandworm. She sure did. She left. She stayed in the room for a minute. Because she was gathering information. She was just listening to everything through. But once it was finished, once everyone professed Paul Atreides to be the Mahdi, everyone else is cheering, her dipping, everyone bowing, her dipping, my Roman Empire. So me. So I taught you how to sand walk. I taught you how to do the water situation out here. You looked thirsty until you met me. You were about to get eaten by worms until I taught you not how to walk. I taught you. I had this cute tent. I brought you in my tent. I showed you what love is. I gave my body to you. I loved you. And you do this in front of me? After I brought you back? And my name literally means like fountain, spring, water, whatever it was. I dipped my hand into the blue Gatorade. Put that mess in your mouth. I don't want to touch the blue Gatorade. I put that in your mouth. I brought you back to life. I brought you back to life. You were about to die. And now you want to propose to this heifer? No. No. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. I was sitting there with her going, girl, you better grab your canteen and your weapons. You better get that knife that you gave that boy, right? And you better leave. And she got on her sandworm. She got her little hooks in the background. She was like, I'm dipping. I'm out of here. So me. So me. And that's it, you guys. We have finished this very long review. It's probably really long, which is fine for the algorithm. It works out well. I love Dune Part 2. This is my favorite movie of the year. Dune Part 1 was my favorite movie last week of the year, but Dune Part 2 is my favorite movie of this year. What movies can outdo this? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. I'm going to see Monkey Man coming next week, I think. Maybe that might have a little bit of a leg in the race, but as of right now, I'm going to go see Dune Part 2 again. And if I like it even more after watching it again, I'm gonna see it again. You guys. So, everything else has been garbage. All the movies last year, besides Oppenheimer. I'll give Barbie too. I give it to Barbie. The little Ken song was pretty fire too. Movies have been garbage lately, but Dune Part 1 and 2 has revitalized me. I believe in cinema again. I believe that there are good writers, there's talent out there in the world, and they just need a platform to showcase themselves. So this is telling me that whatever we've been getting these past few years, whatever's happening, is on purpose. For the lack of creativity, the lack of art, maybe you have like studio interference, I'm not sure. But every studio should be ashamed of themselves for not being able to produce what this was. Granted, there was some movies that did come out last year that I do need to go check out. And I probably will. There's like some on my list. But so far, like the Marvels, the Transformers, I mean like big blockbuster movies I saw last year. Marvels, Transformers was garbage. I don't care what anybody says, Fast X was not great at all. That movie was, like there's some movies, you guys, I've been watching. I didn't even really want to do a review because I just don't want to trash them. Because I don't want this channel to just be me to hate on like bad movies. I really made this channel for me to celebrate cinema and film and entertainment and news. So I don't want to be like a negative Nancy all day, but I've been watching a lot of movies, and a lot of movies I just don't feel like they're worth me even doing a review. This movie deserved this amount of time because it's that good. We need more movies like Dune to come out. But hopefully this year with, like I said, Monkey Man looks really good. I have high hopes for Planet of the Apes. Looks really good. I can't remember what else. There's other movies, but so far just those in itself look good enough for me. But yeah, I want to say thank you so much to you guys for sticking around for this. My last like little, you know, little note, don't drink blue Gatorade. We should all be in the same line. Don't drink no blue Gatorade. That is gross. Absolutely disgusting. And I will see you for the next movie. I'm hoping Dune Part 3 gets put out next year. Hopefully they're already done. I'm ready for the next one. You guys, just go see the movie. Don't listen to anyone online. Go see the movie. Just go see it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.